hours. And why is that important to make that distinction? Because are there other types of hours that might wind up in problems such as this? Yes, machine hours specifically. And so we want to be as precise as possible. Okay? Okay, very good. Now another number, please. Carrie? Although he probably took the one you would have preferred to have taken. $327,600 absolutely goes in here somewhere. The problem now, our issue is, where does it go? Is that the cost per hour? Because that's what AC would be. AC would be cost per hour. What's it say immediately above the $12? Standard price. So is that actual? That is standard, and that is the standard cost. Okay? We're getting some places here. We're getting some places. Taylor. Yes. Have I talked to you? I've talked to you already today. Have I talked to everybody in here already today? Some of you twice. Shar, do I need to ask you another question? But you were yawning. And so which suggests to me that I'm being boring, or somehow you are bored. No? Are you sure? Okay. Taylor, I was just giving you some time. Have you figured it out? Yeah. What do you, oh, please. Yes, so Carrie, you didn't have to give up on it. That number was correct, $327,500. It happens to represent the product of these two. Although I can't see Carrie, so I can't see what she's, but that happens to represent the product of those two. 600, thank you. Sorry, I was so excited. There we are, much better, right? And Carrie is less confused now because I've actually got the right number written on the board. What is? Yes, absolutely. So this is $11.70, and we just calculated that, right? We calculated that because it was the one unknown, and so we were able to figure out what the one unknown was, given the others were known. Beautiful. Isn't this fun? It's kind of these his and hers, the Twinkie staples. That just does not roll off my tongue really well. What?
It's a love seat.
A love seat.
There's an arm on each side with one of the love seats.
To me, it looks like a horizontal graph with 3 hash marks.
Stephanie, what did you think it looked like?
No, I was saying I get where she's coming from.
For what? The love seat?
Well, I was just thinking maybe like, because there's 2 parts of it.
A love seat. Oh, like the cushion. If you're looking about just the cushions.
Each love seat has 2 cushions.
Yes, they do. Shar doesn't know what a love seat is, does she? It's okay. that's okay. She shouldn't have to know about love seats to understand what we're talking about in accounting. Now what do we want to do? Scott, you're on. Mr. Enthusiastic back there today. I'm sorry? This one? Is this the next one? 336,000? Even? And how could you describe that number using words other than the next one? That's a good question, he thinks. How could I describe that? Huh? It is not the standard cost. Christy, you want to help him? That's the absolutely correct answer. Actual quantity times standard cost. It wasn't. Well, I wasn't suggesting it was very hard, but actual quantity times standard cost is what that number is that you very ably calculated for us. Aubrey, now what?
The difference is 8,000.
Everybody's shying away from $8,400. Favorable or unfavorable, Cody? Why? Why? That is a correct answer. That's a correct answer to that, although it's not a way of thinking about it that I've actually given you. But it is a precisely correct way to think about it. How I've told you so far is to compare actual cost to standard cost, right? That's what's changed, right? So we actually spent less than we expected to. But another way to know, if you would just rather memorize this very simply, you can say, well, Dr. Fessler, because the number on the left is smaller than the number on the right. It will always be true. If the number on the left is smaller than the number on the right, it is favorable. Got that, Mr. King? Okay. Heidi, now what? People have taken all the easy ones, and they're leaving the hard one for you. Yes, 5 the standard quantity. Wow. She did both parts. Times how many units? How cool. How impressive is that? That was pretty awesome. Right? Is that right, Mr. King?
Correct.
Is it correct? Have you done the math?
I'm not.
Okay. You going to get right on that?
I will.
Awesome. Angie, are you calculating that? Have you calculated it already?
Yeah, the total?
Yeah, of the 22,000 times 1.25?
Yes, is 27,500.
27,500. You can put that in brackets there. And so what math are you working on? Where did it go? Brett, are you working on the kind of the whole math?
That's $330,000.
$330,000. And you know what? I can do this math. $6,000, favorable or unfavorable? Catherine?
It is unfavorable because the number on the left is larger than the number on the right.
Yeah, and if we're looking up here, what two numbers are we comparing?
We are comparing the quantity, the actual quantity versus the standard quantity.
Yes. 28,000 versus 27,500. So if we actually needed to use 28,000 hours rather than the 27,500 we expected to, we're unhappy with that. We would describe that as unfavorable. Brandon, just to give you a chance to do it right and get the right, huh? 1,400 favorable. 2,400 favorable. And there's actually two ways to do it. There's Brandon's way, which is the way I tend to do it, which is